back and you're watching the Evil X channel. You know what this Supra needs? It needs to make some wicked awesome turbo noises. WRX has the Mishimoto intake and a boom buff bypass valve. That thing sounds awesome. Now let's get the intake installed on the A90. If you like Supra content, browse through the other videos on my channel and see if any of those interest you, and consider subscribing. Hit the thumbs up on this video, it really helps the small YouTubers out. Thanks for being here. So let's try to make the Supra sound awesome today as well. What do we got? We got the ArmaSpeed cold air intake. I'm pretty excited about this. Look at that, isn't that nice? Thanks Will from A90 Shop. That personalization is actually pretty nice. So let's see what we got in here. So here comes with some paperwork. Comes in this nice slip cover. We got the instructions here. So you're going to take out your old intake system, your intake box, and you're going to remove your intake sensor. I believe that's just a heat sensor. The part I'm a little concerned about is it has that listed as install the EGR tube, that vent tube. Some people had had some difficulty getting it removed from this portion here on the stock portion. Then we will see about that. But yeah, some nice color instructions. Then this heat shield on the ArmaSpeed just plugs back in to the factory grommet locations. So that will be nice. And then over here it just has a message about fastening the head of the clamp at the line showed on the intake. So I guess they don't want you to be tightening down on that seam there. Here's our main piece. What's cool about this is it is a single piece going all the way from the filter to your turbo, whereas some of the other kits you needed to retain the portion on this end that was connecting to the turbo. This way it is all one smooth piece without extra baffling or things that are going to restrict our airflow or our cool noises we want to get out of this thing. Then here's the filter. It's kind of cool. If you can see in there, it's concave like that. It's like a velocity stack to help push the air through there. Then we have the air box to keep heat away from it. Then we have a coupling piece, so that is going to go on the turbo side. I'm not completely thrilled about this, just having the worm gear clamps. We'll see how that goes. But it looks really nice. Let's start by taking off the engine cover. It'll give us a little bit more room to see what's down there. Just got 4 little grommets. Put that aside. Next on the air box, we're going to remove this temperature sensor. It does unclip here, but we need to remove the whole thing. So you're going to need a T15. Looks like that. We'll just set it aside for now. Next, let's loosen this worm gear. Then we can pop out the rest of this air box here. Now it's just held down by 4 rubber grommets, and that'll just pop out. And pull out the whole intake box. Very simple. So there's your box. It actually has 3 grommets. 2 of them stayed attached. We are going to remove them off the plastic air box and put them back down in the frame. Goes in there and there. Then there's a 3rd connection point there. Pop these off and then we'll put them back on the frame of the car. Switch into GoPro mode, we're going in. So this whole section will remove, so it hooks all the way up to the turbo. There is this wiring cluster right here. Looks like it's just holding on right there. I'm gonna try to unclip that right there. So wiggle this clip off with the screwdriver. See, it's just got these metal holding teeth. And then back here we have the C-clip holding on the intake to the turbo here. So we'll get under that C-clip and pull it out. Once you have one end lifted up with a screwdriver, just start working your way all the way around. Then should be able to get that C-clip off. So we'll work this part of the inlet off of the turbo. Okay. Then we got this breather hose back here we got to get off. So some people had a hard time getting this one off or even broke it. So let me see if I can pinch this and get it off. All right, so we got the vent hose off. That was a little tricky. So I didn't see videos that had a great description of this. So what you want to do is there's ridges on the sides. So that is where you're going to be pinching as you pull it off. So pinch it on the ridges on each side. Then it'll come off the stem there. I'd also recommend having it completely disconnected on the turbo side, and then it came off a little bit easier. Then we can just pull this guy out. So look at this thing. You can see it has all the baffling. So that is really going to limit the sound that you hear. There's the side-by-side. Again, you can see all the accordion baffling there that's going to cause a lot of sound restriction, as opposed to our new straight ArmaSpeed. Now again, I'm not super excited about this silicone coupler with the worm gear clamps, just because those are going to be difficult to put on, and I don't think they're quite as secure as the C-clamp that we had from factory. But let's try that out. We'll start getting this on the turbo side. So we will put our clamps on loosely before we begin seating it up to the turbo. So I can confirm getting that clip back on does suck. Just keep working at it. Move your pipe back and forth, because that pipe right there is hard plastic on the backing and it doesn't want to move very much. So keep working on it, but it will make a satisfying click when it does go on. So before I tighten up those worm gear clamps, I'm going to make sure our intake is fitting in correctly with how the box fits up. So once I am good on the alignment on that, then I'll tighten those up. Then we can permanently secure down the air box. So those fingers are just going to go down in these locations there, and that one there. So we'll test fit that in there. Here is the air inlet that feeds from the front of the car. So it's going to go back here to our air box. So when we are putting this in, we're going to go down at an angle to go under that inlet, then line up the tabs underneath. Well, I just found out that this 7mm fits on those screws, on those clamps perfectly, so that works a lot better than a screwdriver. Get that a lot tighter with this guy. As you're fitting this, I found it's best to hold onto your grommet as you push that down, or else that grommet kind of wants to pop out the bottom. Then again, make sure you have it lined up down here as well. Get enough room to get our filter and clamp on up here. For the filter, I think, me personally, I'm gonna put the screw up there. Seems like it's gonna be easiest to get to from up there. So with the clamp around it, but loose, we'll slide that on. Again, I'll use that 7mm nut driver. Get that tightened down. Yeah, this works so much better than a regular screwdriver. Then you can get your temperature sensor put back in here. This kit does include its own screws. These are going to be a T10, so just take those off. They have washers too, so be sure not to lose those. So this will only line up one way, so you don't have to worry about getting it wrong. So there's a look at it. Make sure that this is fit properly in the brackets there. You might need to adjust this back here. That it's going to act as a nice heat shield from against the turbo and the rest of the motor. Let's get that top on. We got the ArmaSpeed intake in. Let's see how it sounds. We'll get up here on the highway. We got my brother helping out with the camera. So listen to that sound. Hear that turbo flutter? I love being able to hear that induction noise and the turbo sounds with this intake. The ArmaSpeed is supposed to be one of the best sounding ones for the A90 Toyota Supra. Thanks for watching my video, I appreciate it. Again, browse through the other videos on my channel and see if any of those interest you, and consider subscribing. Thanks for being here. Until next time, I'm